Hi, it's Ronnie Kruzman, founder and CEO of The People Piece. And today I'm going to talk to you about ending the year with intention, ending the year like a human being. So here we are, and it's early December, and there's finally light at the end of the tunnel of a year that defies description. If you're like me, you're probably tired. You're probably looking forward to some break here at the end of the year. And if you're like me, you also want to make sure that you end the year really well. You want to accomplish the things that you've set out to accomplish. And you may also want to end the year with intention. To me, endings are really important. I think it's something that our society often overlooks. But endings are important. Good endings are the key to a good new beginning. When we end a year well, we feel more relaxed. We feel more fulfilled. We feel more creative. We're more impactful, and we're able to start the new year in the right place. We're also able to really enjoy a break, as opposed to ending the year just going through the motions, trying to get done as much as we possibly can get done to the very last minute. So we barely cross that finish line, utterly depleted, with barely enough energy to just recoup before we head into a new year. I want to share with you 12 practices that I've engaged in throughout and really learned throughout the course of my career, and that we also practice here at The People Piece that can help you to end this year with intention and end this year like a human being. The first is to set that intention, to say, I'm going to end this year well, I'm going to end like a human being, whatever that means to me, to make that choice. Number two is going to be to deal with the inner critic when it comes up and says things to you like, there's no way you can do that. Who do you think you are trying to do that when the rest of your team is going to be working their butts off till the end, and so on and so on and so on, right? We know that voice. We all have it to different degrees. Our job right now is to say thank you. I appreciate what you do for me, inner critic. You help me stay focused. You help me grow. You help me learn. And right now I want to give you a new job. I want you to help me stay on task with ending this year like a human being instead of pedal to the metal until we cross the finish line. Okay, let's say we've done that. Now, how do we do it? How can we possibly end like a human being when we have so much on our plate? Number three, make a plan and cut at least 30% out of it. Maybe 40%, maybe even 50%. Do that in at least two ways. Push certain things out to January or even later next year. Number two, if something does need to happen now, diminish its scope. What's the minimum that you need to do to feel good about it? Let perfection go, put less on your plate, more will come later. Unless you're an ER doc, you can probably afford to do that. Number four, schedule yourself a staycation. I don't know what your situation is. You may have kids, you may not. You may have a shorter break, you may have a longer break. But I really encourage you to do whatever you can to even plan a short amount of time for yourself where there's nothing planned. There's no self-improvement workshop. There's no 7-day meditation retreat at the end of the year. There's no reorganization of the closet or the garage. There's just time for you to enjoy life, to sleep in, to watch Netflix, to make yourself some stew, and it's just that simple. Number five, 15 days from now, you're going to be taking that little staycation. You're probably not going to be going anywhere this year, right? What can you do between now and then? Celebrate accomplishments. Celebrate everything you've accomplished just to show up for this year, to navigate it. And also all the things that you've actually done and the impact that you've had for yourself, for your team members, for your clients, for your customers. And hold some space for your team to do the same. Such an important practice for us in ordinary times, and especially in these extraordinary times, to really honor what we did and what other people did so that we can feel fulfilled. Celebrating accomplishments also helps us with the sixth principle here, which is learning from those accomplishments and also learning from our efforts and maybe from some of our failures this year as well. What did you do differently in order to serve your clients or your customers? How did you shift things to a virtual environment? How did you collaborate in new ways So we celebrate this and we also learn from it, and we harvest that learning now, because most likely we won't come back to it in February and ask, what did we do in 2020? We're going to be focused on what we're doing in February of 2021. Harvest that learning now so that you can feel more fulfilled, your team can feel more fulfilled, and then you can also build on it in the future. You've celebrated, you've learned. Now take just a bit of time to dream. Normally at the end of most years, our team will take a good amount of time to vision into the following year and even set some strategy. This year we're pulling back on that some because there is a lot to do and we know that our reserves aren't as high. But at the same time, we want to take some of this very special ending time when the tactical starts to fall away to spend some time dreaming about what we might do next year, right? How might we take our learnings and our accomplishments and grow them more? What might we shift? Maybe our business model will change. Maybe we want to make some new hires or change some roles. Do some dreaming now at the end of this year. It'll help you feel fulfilled, and you'll be able to look to that seed bank in the new year and see which of those seeds you want to plant and then to nurture. Number 8, take some time to tie off some loose ends. All of us may have had some crunchy interactions this year. You don't want to bring that baggage with you into your break because it's emotionally taxing. All of us probably didn't show up in certain ways we wanted to show up for certain people. We may not have said yes to an invitation. We may not have responded to certain emails, and maybe we feel a bit bad about it. Respond to those emails now, or cross those off your list. Forgive yourself. Don't bring that baggage with you into your break, and certainly not into the new year. Number 9, set boundaries for yourself. Set boundaries for yourself now and also into the new year. So setting boundaries for yourself now looks like not working until 10 at night and not checking your phone first thing at 7 a.m. Maybe you were able to do that throughout the year. I doubt it felt very good. At this point, your reserves are probably lower. Take that off your plate. Stop that practice. We know it's not a healthy practice, and it's also not a healthy practice for the people we lead and manage, right? So we want to lead by example and cut back on that behavior, and certainly make sure that we set ourselves up so that during our break, we can have, if at all possible, zero interaction with work. And I mean zero. Pull Slack off of your phone. You can put the app back later. Silence those email notifications. Everything that you can do, and to make it clear to customers and clients as well that you won't be available, but you'll be really excited to talk to them in the new year when you're refreshed and they're refreshed as well. Number 10, create a plan for that first week back. You might be thinking, well, isn't this about endings? And it is about endings. And one of the ways that we can end with ease and really leave a year behind is to know that when I come back, I'm not going to be coming back to thousands of emails and no clue what to do with them. I'm going to have a plan. I know that on day 1, I'm going to focus on this, and day 2 on this, and day 3, and so on. So create a plan, even if it's a rough plan, so you know it doesn't need to live in my head. It's all going to be down on paper. When I come back that Monday, I'm going to power up my computer, and we're going to get into it again. Number 11, leave that first week back as clear as possible of any kind of external engagements. See if any kind of trainings that you're running, maybe a demo, maybe a sales call, can those wait until the second week that you're back, so that the first week you're back, and especially those first few precious days, can really focus on yourself, on being proactive, on vision, on strategy, and also on connecting with your first team, with that team that you're part of before you're servicing or reacting to anybody else. And the last thing I want to say, the 12th practice here, is to be intentional about your last day in the office. So that takes some advanced planning, and I strongly encourage not to plan any meetings for that last day in the office if at all possible, especially not in the afternoon. You might even want to end that last day in the office a bit early, right? In that spirit of not sprinting across the finish line, but instead arriving across the finish line with some reserves. And making sure that on that last day, you maybe make some notes, maybe write yourself a letter of appreciation, maybe even just a small paragraph. Tidy up those loose ends, power that computer down, close that computer, and maybe put it away in the closet, right? That's going to be your last day, and maybe there's some other final ritual that you'll engage in on that very last day to say, I've completed my work, it's been quite a year, and now it's time to rest. So I know that this may sound challenging, or it may sound like exactly what you need and exactly what you're excited to do. I'd encourage you to try all 12 of these practices, and if there's even only a few that you can try, do those. I believe that we won't have as many reserves this year as we normally have in order to get through this month. And now more than ever, we really need to set ourselves and the people we lead in our organizations up for a graceful ending to what for many of us has been quite a challenging year, so that we can enjoy and feel fulfilled and rested during a break, and then also come back with the motivation and the desire and the energy reserves to engage in a new year and build a new year the way that we want it. So thanks for tuning in here. I hope you found some value here. If you did, we'd love to hear how it goes for you in applying any of these practices. Shoot us an email, comment on our LinkedIn page. And if you found some value here and you think others might as well, spread the word, post on social media, spread it around. We'd love for people to hear this message and to understand that it's okay to do this, and it's actually important to do this, and it actually makes a strong business sense to end the year with intention, to end the year like a human being. Thanks again for tuning in, and if this sounds like something that your team might need some coaching in or that you might need support in, please don't hesitate to reach out either this year or in the new year after you've enjoyed a well-deserved break. I want to wish you a restful, easeful, rejuvenating time off, and a happy new year and a safe new year to you and your families from myself and from everybody at the People Piece. Be well.